Time to go live. Why not? Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton, MarkRushtonGallery.com. It is Friday evening, July 23rd, 2022, and starting a little early tonight here. It's not going to be a live art sale. It is going to be uh, Mark Rushton Gallery showing off art because I've been unpacking and moving stuff around and getting things organized for the two studio spaces that I have here, getting things together. I want to show off some pictures of the studio one, where I do my work and the photos, and eventually I'm gonna. We'll get to that here in a second. And then you're in studio two, which is more the kind of the recording studio, video and audio and stuff like that here. As you can see, I've got the lovely rock wool back here, and I don't have any above me, so who knows? Somebody might be tap dancing later. I don't know. But I've got more paintings back here. I got some Lucy's over here. I have works in progress. I have things that I have. What did I do? Applied fixative to the new fixative, and let's just dive into it real quick here. Real quick here. Um, so yeah, my Instagram is out there at Mark Rushton. Got a whopping 244 followers. And you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing out there on Instagram. And let's bring that up here. Of course, the link is in the description. And I've got pictures, and I've got reels and all that sort of stuff. I try to do something every single day for what it's worth. And then of course there's markrushtongallery.com, which is my gallery, which it shows off my art. Some of it is available for sale. And of course, you can sign up for my mailing list here. That's the nagging thing that always shows up there. And I always have a weekly sale item out there on super deep discount. And then, of course, it's kind of broken down by originals, and then print offerings, and then the tote bags, which I love. I'm going to be doing more things with here in the near future. So how do I want to do this here? Let's show off some pictures real quick. So uh let me see if I can, because it's a one-man operation here. This is studio one, and it's in the unfinished part of the building here, and it will be finished off eventually. But what I think I'd like to do, and I was kind of bantering this around today on the old Discord, was I'd like to do live art shows, in-person art shows, either outdoors or indoors in the future once I get my inventory back up to a certain level. And of course, one part of that is, you have to have a 10 by 10 tent type of structure thing, which they're easily available out at all the usual stores. And I thought, so I measured this out, and just even allowing for a hallway here on the right side, I could put the tent up in here. That could be the temporary studio space, right? And the ceiling's like 8.5 feet, I do believe. That's at least how the little Bosch laser thing measured it. So one aspect of that is I could assemble it, see what it's like assembling it, and then I know that there is a type of hanging mesh or something like that that you can buy at Lowe's. You can kind of string up, and then you could hang paintings from that some way. I've never done that sort of thing before, but that certainly interests me. So that's kind of what I want to do there with that space. Now let's see if have I got the other pictures. Yeah, I got some other angles here. I got the old tabletop radio out of my dad's basement, and he gave me some wire for a copper 70 feet of copper wire for an antenna. It's like, I think that works. It does bring in the local AM stations rather crackly, but I think I'm gonna need something a little more brute force, right? And I gotta spray it down with a little deoxit because it's a little crackly, old fashioned style there. And as you can see, I've got my soft boxes up there, and they're aimed at that old what is that? not it's not a bed frame, it's a mattress. It's the thing that goes below the mattress. I have an extra one. They just people don't like keeping them around, but that works because it's got the black underneath, and I think I'm going to keep it there. It's kind of nice. The cat likes to climb it. That's real good. And then yeah, just some other angles of that here. So just having that up there to photograph art. I'll get a better backdrop in time, but I think this space would do really good with one of those art tents in there. Get that up there. Figure out how to merchandise my art. Figure out when I'm full up. You know, it's like I got enough large pieces. How am I going to space this out? You know, like some people, some of the artists have little roller things and shelving and stuff like that. They give me time to sort of merchandise it, you know, for what's this going to look like out in the real world. And so I think I have all winter to order a tent, mess around with it, and then also I could put the light boxes inside it. It could be the studio light. I could move the video studio over there. That would be kind of cool. It's a Mark's indoor playhouse. You know, like my wife and daughters. I'd have a little sign up on the door saying "No girls allowed." You know. So anyway, that's the photos. That's the photos. Isn't that funny? Isn't that great? Bring me back here. Let's look at some art. Right? Let's not fool around anymore here. Um, so what have I got? What have I got here? Let's just take a look at what's at hand here. So this was a piece that was in progress, but I think it's pretty much done here. And this is one that I use the fixative on, that casein fixative, and I you know it's of the fields. The fields are changing around here. The soybean fields, they don't they have a little bit of pink in them, not for long, but there they are. So this is just a little kind of just a quick painter sketch that I did, and I think it's good to go. And it can and I found these little mat boards out here, and I can just kind of I can eventually tape things on the back there, and that way I can photograph them easily. So that's neat. And then, I've also been working on these little, I guess this is like a 12 by 12. This I consider to be done. Again, another abstract landscape, a little more pink, a little less pink in the landscape, but we have pink nevertheless. And cloudy skies with blue in the distance. And not titled yet, but that's on the way. What else have we got here? Let's go a little bonkers here. 18 by 24, and of course this has the plexiglass on it, so you're just going to get nothing but reflections. I have a bunch of these. Again, these sort of again abstract landscapes. You can't. I got to get the plexiglass out of them. Let's find one that doesn't have any plexiglass in it. All right. Here's one. This is one that I mounted this to a cradled wood panel, and this was framed for when I was in the gallery. And this was framed at the Hudson River Gallery in Coralville, Iowa, which I highly recommend. He did a wonderful job, and it's got the right there, and that's great. Open faced sign down here in the corner. This will be in the Mark Rushton Gallery here very soon. And what's this one called? Window to the Prairie. Window to the Prairie. And viewable size is 16 by 20, which is how you cut those 18 by 24s down to. Be careful here. Now at the Hudson River Gallery, this is not me. This is not mine. This is a Hugh Lifson here. And Hugh had a show. He's been retired for some time as a professor of art at Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa, and he has an extremely distinct style when he uses the saran wrap or whatever plastic wrap here. With it makes it completely distinctive, And so I bought one of Hugh's pieces, and it's called Helm in Winter, and bought this at the Hudson River Gallery. I think it was last March or April, and the first gallery show I'd been to in some time. I do love that piece. But there's only one Hugh Lifson. I'm not going to be playing around with saran wrap by any means. And then I've shown this one in a recent video here. This is one of my 16 by 20s. This one is called, hold on here. It's in the name. Changing Fields. It is Changing Fields. And this is what I call one of my Lucy's here. So this is like an 18 by 24 acrylic ink on synthetic paper painting. And it's just completely loose. It's not matted. It's not mounted or anything like that. You have to be very, very careful with mounting these paintings that are on the synthetic paper, because it has you have to do it with certain types of adhesives. But this is one thing that I'm going to be offering more of in the Mark Rushton Gallery soon, is what I call the Lucy's, just because the time and expense of getting everything mounted and framed, and it's considerable. So let's just see if I can move some of my old catalog that way, right? All right. What else? What else do we have here? This is another one I got recently out of storage. Again, this had been in the gallery. This is Slight Hint. Slight Hint. I got this framed at the frame station in Iowa City, Iowa. This is acrylic paint on stretch canvas, and of course it's placed in this beautiful floating frame that needs to be cleaned up. They did a wonderful job, as you can see here. And this will be in the Mark Rushton Gallery very soon. Very abstract, very kind of minimalist landscape there. I'm going to pick one other here, just because I've not shown it off. I don't want anything with plexiglass in it there. Well, we've got these other ones here. Let's just keep the ball rolling, right? And I don't have a name on this one here, but again, another synthetic paper, acrylic ink on synthetic paper painting. What is this? 12 by 16, 16 by, what is this here? I think this is 12 by 16. Real nice. Got a couple of them down here. And the other one, I really should have the names on the back of these now, shouldn't I? That's right. Should also hold them up for a lot longer too. Then got this this big fella here. Yeah. What's this? Earthen Layers. Earthen Layers, 24 inches square. This is acrylic paint and glue on stretch canvas, placed in a floating frame. Unfortunately, the paper's a little torn back here, so I got to work on that. Hey, when you move stuff, things get a little damaged, right? Another one, just absolutely love this one here. It's great. It's so minimalist, and it's just the fields that are always around me, and I drive through at all times of the year, just getting endless inspiration from the landscape. And so much more. Let's look at some Lucy's. And this is just, I haven't even gone through these, so it's going to be some of these I'm not going to be some of these I'm not so sure about, or maybe they're a little unfinished. You just make them and you're just like, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Does something need to be added to that? Is that cool? Oh, I've got good papers too that have not been painted on yet. Well, that's worth a lot because they haven't been publishing that as much. All right. Flavor. Look at the flavor on that one, right? What have I got here? This goofy thing. It's just too much glare. Too much glare. Oh God, I love this one here. I think I made a business card out of it. Let's just pull this one out of the big fields. Isn't that neat? That's neat. Love it. Love it. Love to be able to get that into I've got to get some more pre-cut mats, get this stuff photographed, and get these loosies into the I really ought to put this back into the folder properly. It's got the name and everything here. Treat it. Running out of space here. Running out of time. I got stuff to do tonight to that. That's why I had the early show. I got to run out to the hardware store here soon. Get some goodies. Let's do some smaller ones. Boy, those big loosies are a bit of a trouble. Boy, I just knocked these out like crazy. You can't see them. You can't see them. Let's do some that aren't under plastic. I got a whole bunch here that I found that I'm like, oh, these aren't under plastic, you know. Get a very monochromatic. It's just not really picking up the texture. It's kind of hard. There's so much texture there. The camera can't seem to pick it up. Look at that. May 2019. That was called Banks. The Clearing. Kind of neat. This one called Westerly. Just in the raw there. Getting more in the raw than that. Way back. Is that the correct way? Way back. Again, I got to get these things matted out, photographed, because when you spring thaw, yeah, stuff like that. Empty dusk. Oh, yeah. And these are small enough. I mean, these are small enough I could scan these, turn them into prints, turn them into bags. You know, we'll see down the line here. So, yeah, that's where we are. That's what I've just been sorting and I've got just hundreds and hundreds, and the other room, and there's much bigger, and then I've got synthetic paper paintings in these portfolios that are just huge that I worked on, and I'll get those out and I'll get those photographed, and they will be Lucy's in the Mark Rushton Gallery here. And so I guess I'll have to put them in the original section here, just as Lucy's, kind of like I did with Changing Fields here. And so, you know, that sort of thing, when you make that available out there, you have to be very, very careful with, you know, if somebody is to buy it, when they go and get it mounted or framed, just even matted and framed, they have to tell the framer what to use. You know, you got to use Tyvek tape. If you're going to mount it, you have to use a starch-based adhesive. You have to be very, very, very careful, which is probably why I'm going back to this, right? But it is, there's no denying here that this effect is gorgeous. How do you get that? Well, it's kind of an addition reductive technique, adding and reducing and bringing out those grains in a particular way, knowing how to use liquid and time and paper towels and just work fast and experiment a lot. That's kind of how I was with regard to that, and it's all over the place. It's overwhelming, but I'm getting things better organized. Stuff is out of boxes. It's better stacked. It's better organized. I know what I need to do. I just need the time, and getting that time is difficult when you're still drinking from the fire hydrant, right? So, anyway, this is past 20 minutes. I'm surprised anybody has watched, but people have watched, and that's wonderful. The site is the site is markrustongallery.com. You can go out there and take a look at it anytime. Sign up for my mailing list. I'll be sending out an email every single week with updates either on the music or the paintings or a combination of both. You can kind of keep up and follow along, and you know, if you get in early enough, you can say, you know what, I I knew that Mark Rushton way back when he had 244 followers on Instagram. I'm working it. I'm working it. So listen, I got to run. The hardware store closes in less than an hour, and I got to check this later. I haven't noticed any issues with regard to um, delays and stuff like that with the video, but I'm gonna have to rewatch this later here. I'm a little concerned that the new modem did not fixed the packet loss and data latency issues, but I'll see in the next video if I'll just have to keep testing things out from there. Anyway, that's it for tonight, and you gotta go head out. You gotta go to the hardware store, and then happy birthday to the dear wife. She doesn't like anybody celebrating her birthday. So if you know her, just say happy birthday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good night.